What if the ghost of Sparta was more than just a game character? What if Kratos, the god-slaying warrior of rage and tragedy, existed in our world? Would history remember him as a hero or a monster? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a massive what if, one that blends mythology, psychology, history, and imagination. What if Kratos, the protagonist of God of War, actually existed in real life? Would his legend rival Hercules? Would he change the course of mythology? Would we survive in a world where one man could challenge the gods? Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're new here, and let's jump into it. Kratos was born in Sparta, a brutal warrior raised in the art of war. In the original Greek saga, he sold his soul to Ares, the god of war, in exchange for victory. But that deal came with a terrible cost: the death of his own wife and child by his own hand. This trauma became the fuel for his rage. He hunted and killed gods across the Greek pantheon, then traveled to the Norse realms and took on Odin, Thor, and more. But here's the twist. Kratos isn't just a video game icon. He's loosely based on a real concept. In actual Greek mythology, Kratos was a minor figure, the personification of strength and power. He appeared in works like Aeschylus's Prometheus Bound, serving Zeus directly. Not exactly the angry god killer we know from the games. However, the idea of a being that defies gods is ancient. Prometheus stole fire. Hercules defied Hera. Achilles challenged fate. Kratos, the video game character, is more like a modern myth, stitched together from ancient legends. So what if he was real? Let's imagine a Kratos born in ancient Sparta, a general perhaps, known for impossible victories. Maybe the stories say he fought monsters, defeated titans, and disappeared into legend. He'd likely become a demigod in stories like Hercules, a man cursed and blessed by the divine. But let's push it further. What if the gods were real? We and Kratos actually did challenge them? Would ancient Greece survive such divine civil war? What about the Norse realms? Would Ragnarok happen early? Post. Let's break down the man himself. Kratos suffers from deep PTSD, rage issues, and guilt. He's violent, but also protective. Vengeful, but slowly learning redemption. In a real-world context, Kratos would be classified with complex PTSD, possibly even dissociative identity disorder, early on. His growth in the Norse saga shows emotional evolution.
Father?
In a real-world scenario,
Something
his
changed?
journey would be studied by
The force
psychologists for
feels
generations.
different.
He's a case study in trauma, redemption, and fatherhood. If Kratos lived during ancient empires, he'd be feared and worshipped. Empires would try to control or kill him. Imagine Rome trying to conquer Greece while Kratos exists, or Persia, or Egypt. He'd either be a god of war on Earth, an unstoppable force of destruction, or a one-man rebellion against tyranny. And in the modern world, governments would chase him. He'd be classified as a global threat, a mythic WMD. Think, a mix between the Hulk, a demigod, and a mythological nuke. Let's go multiverse for a second. What if Kratos traveled beyond Norse myth? In Egypt, he'd battle gods like Ra, Anubis, and Set. In Hindu mythology, he'd encounter Vishnu, Shiva, gods far beyond anything he's faced. In Japanese lore, he might meet Susanoo or Amaterasu. Each pantheon has their own rules. Could Kratos adapt? Would he win? That depends on the myths, but it would make for a wild new saga. Fans have speculated for years. Could Kratos eventually fight Yahweh? Or enter a sci-fi realm? Some think he's destined to become the new All-Father. Others say his story ends with Atreus surpassing him. But if he were real, he'd probably disappear into legend, feared and revered in equal measure. The the ghost that haunted Olympus and beyond. So what do you think? Could Kratos survive in the real world? Who would he fight next? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into gaming, mythology, and alternate realities. Until next time, keep questioning what's real.